From the McIntyre Law Weather Center, Forewarn Weather with Mike Morgan.
We're glad you're here. We've had quite a few tornadoes tonight. A couple have been large and long-tracked on the ground for a long time. I want to show you, first of all, some video from Corey Inman. This was about 45 minutes ago. This is going to be between Jed and Nash. And he was up here tracking this with his night vision. Big mesocyclone right there in the middle of your screen. Can you see that kind of UFO-looking structure right there? That's the spin inside the supercell. There is no tornado on the ground. And then seconds away, watch this, right in the middle of your screen, there's a little telephone pole sitting right there. Watch this tornado drop down. It starts out as a little cone. There it is, right next to the telephone pole. And then it goes from a cone to a wedge. And it eventually winds up being a quarter-mile wide or larger. It happened incredibly fast. There it is right there, right directly in the middle of your screen. It dropped down so fast, it did produce a debris ball as it crossed the highway just to the west of Corey Inman. Notice the tornado there getting much, much larger. Amazing how fast, how dynamic these supercells can produce tornadoes and how quickly they can go to large, dangerous tornadoes. Look at that. Big tornado right there. Multiple vortex in the structure. The winds inside of some of these were quite strong tonight. And there are ongoing tornado warnings. Look at it there. This is real-time video. This isn't right now. This was about 25, 30 minutes ago. But at that point, that tornado's already passing 1/4 mile wide. Really incredible stuff from Corey Inman. Let's get you an update. What's going on out there tonight? We've got our storm trackers out. There is still severe weather out there tonight. So right now in Oklahoma City, we are mostly cloudy. And temperatures are near 70 in Oklahoma City right now. And our wind is out of the southeast. It's breezy, 70 with 76% relative humidity. 50 was our low and 75 our daytime high. The pollen count, by the way, came way down today. Came down to almost nothing thanks to yesterday's drizzle. We're from 70 to 72 and a 68 in Newcastle and Minco and El Reno. It's 63 in Alva, 68 in Ponca City, 67 Enid, and potentially tornadic supercells west of Elk City, and 69. There is a small tornado warning near Sayre right now and Eric, and also up in western Grant County. So tornado warning here, western Beckham County. There's Elk City, Sayre, Eric, Oklahoma, coming out of the Shamrock area, eastern Texas Panhandle. Right now, no warnings for far northwest Oklahoma, but there is a tornado warning for western Grant County, northwestern Grant County, west of Medford and south of Waukita. Here's the big view. This is the main piece of energy here, which will swing through the metro here later tonight. It's going to be in that midnight to 2 to 3 a.m. time frame for the metro. They've done a good job at staying to the west and to the north of Oklahoma City this evening. This has been a long-tracked supercell here producing large tornadoes, multiple vortex tornadoes on the ground, more often than not, for about a 2-hour period of time. We showed you multiple tornadoes this evening from our team of trackers. The hook is really spinning back up again northwest of Pond Creek. So this is a cyclic supercell, or just recycles over and over again, and it's doing so right now. Let's go to Mike Bennett. Again, heads up for you folks in Medford. Not impossible you get tornadic activity. Mike Bennett's in the damage path, I think, right now, over by Jet and Nash. Mike?
Okay, yeah, Mike, we're checking that house out that is just north of Helena that got hit. And the house looks like it's intact. There was an outbuilding that got destroyed. It had a lot of equipment, small equipment in it. Looks like there's a feeder here that got tipped over. We're kind of shooting out the side glass here. The fire department's here, too. And but a lot of power lines down here north of Helena, and of course no power in this area. But anyway, it looks like for the most part minor damage, in this at this farm that was hit, that was in the damage path of the tornado. But I'm gonna say probably EF0 type damage. It may have just been a subvortices that hit, that was a direct hit on the storm. I'm sorry, on the tornado on this farm. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on up and backtrack a little further up the damage path. Back to you.
Locator on that's 2 miles north of Helena is where that is on the highway. Let's go back over to radar. So what we need to know right now is the hook is picking up again, and this cyclic supercell is re-intensifying west of Medford, right? West of Medford. Corey Inman's on it, looking at it carefully right now with his night vision. Go, Corey.
Yeah, Mike, I'm 4.5 miles west of Medford on Highway 11, and that circulation that you're talking about should be just to my southwest, panning in there. We haven't been able to really make out any structure just yet. You can see, though, there's a tremendous amount of cloud-to-ground lightning in there. The old meso that we watched that produced the tornado earlier moved north of Highway 11 and basically completely dissipated. And, okay, now just to my southwest, Mike, I'm starting to pick up what appears to be a pretty large wall cloud. It doesn't look like there's a funnel or anything associated with it. Just looks like a big wall cloud right now. But as we saw earlier, you can tell that can change really, really fast. So we're 4.5 miles west of Medford, right here on Highway 11. Keeping an eye on it, Mike. Back to you.
Let's go back over to radar here. Corey, we'll come back to you. Look at the hook here, rapidly intensifying again. And that's looking pretty tornadic, really, at any time. So here's Medford. So heads up for you folks in Medford. This is west central Grant County, heading towards central and northern Grant County. That hook is very much spinning back up again. Corey Inman has a wall cloud with that right there. So you folks in central Grant County, northern Grant County, stay very alert with that. Oh my, yeah. So instantaneously, let's go back to Corey Inman. We're going to go long here, guys, okay? We're going to go long. Corey Inman, velocity coming back up to a tornado here fast. This is for you folks in Medford. Heads up. Dangerous.
Yeah, you can see there, Mike, when it gets backlit by the lightning, there's a big bell-shaped lowering just to my west-southwest. It's going to be south of Highway 11. I'm 4.5 miles due west of Medford on 11, and it's going to be just south of Highway 11 here. So it may stay west of Medford, but people in Medford need to go ahead and take their tornado precautions because, these things have been changing rapidly, and the one earlier took a jog to the east, so it wouldn't take much for it to come into Medford. But there's a big bell lowering right back in there, Mike. Don't see anything on the ground just yet. Just a big lowering, and it's kind of getting ragged there at the base, Mike.
So, Corey, where are you from Medford right now exactly?
I am 4.5 miles due west on Highway 11, looking to my west-southwest.
Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 west and 3 south of Medford right now is where this is. It looks tornadic. So I want to stay with you here, Corey. It looks tornadic. If it continues its path, it's going to cross 11 about 5 or so, 4 or 5 west of Medford. Let's hope that it stays. Say that again. And Bennett's back in damage from Helena. Let's go back over to Mike Bennett, and we're surveying the same damage track from this same supercell. This is going to be back north of Helena. This was about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Mike Bennett's back in damage again. Mike, what do you got?
Okay, Mike, yeah, from where I was at a minute ago, we are now northeast of that, and we've got a mobile home here that is surprisingly intact. The tops of the trees right next to the mobile home are sheared off, okay? I'm going to give you a little quick shot of that. That's right next to the mobile home. Okay, there is a barn. Looks like a barn right here that is completely destroyed. Okay, that's not even probably 30 yards from where this mobile home is. Okay, there's another barn. I'm going to change my angle here and give you another shot of another barn that is not completely destroyed but heavily damaged. And some stock pins and everything right in there. A lot of tin in a lot of the fence rows around the corral here. The Alfalfa County deputy is here, and I did talk to a fireman a minute ago about this location, Mike, and he said no injuries. Good news there. Back to you.
Okay. Got a debris signature, 11 west of Medford and 1.5 miles south. Debris signature confirmed on the ground. It's going to cross 11 here, about 7 or so. Maybe 8 west of Medford. Go Corey Inman. Tornado on the ground.
Yeah, Mike, we're 5 west of Medford, making our way back to the west here. Looking back in there, and can't get a visual of it actually on the ground. Don't have any power flashes back in there, but you can see there in the center of the screen how low the lowering is, and it's becoming more and more ragged. But just don't have any visual of anything on the ground just yet, Mike.
Okay, let's go back over to radar. So we're going to stay with this because it is back on the ground. So here's the tornado. So here's Wakita. It's just going to travel just on the east side of 11 there at the Wakita cutoff. So it's going to be about 7. It's going to cross 11 there, about 7 or maybe 8. Hopefully farther to the west of Medford, 7, maybe 8. We'll zoom on in, though. It's on the ground. So now it's about 1.25 miles south of 11 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 west of Medford. And look at the perfect debris ball. Corey Inman, let's go ahead and go back to you. It's a big debris ball. It's about 3/4 of a mile wide, the debris ball. So it may be a low wedge.
Yeah, I'm creeping along here, Mike. I think I may have seen the left side of it.
Yeah.
The lights there in the shot. It may be just back behind that.
Yeah, it's tucked back. There it is. It's tucked back in there. You can see it. We're going to stay with you, Corey. If you're just now joining us, this is a large tornado back on the ground. It's going to cross the Highway 11 about 7 west of Medford. If it continues its path, right now it's 1.25 miles south of 11, and it's moving to the northeast. So hopefully it'll stay west of Medford. If you know anybody on 11 west of Medford, they've got to be in their tornado shelter, basement, storm cellar. Safest place they know. Mobile homes will not be safe. The debris ball on it is 3/4 of a mile wide right now. Go Corey Inman.
Yeah, just scanning in there, Mike. I'm trying to creep up on it. I don't want to get in a position here where we get caught, especially with it being a wedge. And, we've got some of these hills out here that's kind of hard to see, to tell whether something's actually on the ground or if it's just a low-hanging wall cloud. But it looks like the tornado is going to be on the ground just to my southwest here. It's going to put it south of Highway 11. And I'm about 6.5 to 7 miles west of Medford. Still haven't had any power flashes or anything back in there, Mike, but just looking at it through the night vision, you kind of pick up the side of it there occasionally. It's not out in the open like it was, like the one earlier was. So we're just having to catch it when it gets backlit by the lightning, Mike. So we're here, like I said, about 7 miles due west of Medford, looking back to the west-southwest.
Okay, it looks like it's now crossing 11. It's on the south side of the highway right now, but not by much. So it's going to be basically due west of you, Corey. Let's go back over to radar. It's got a big debris ball on it. It's a large tornado. It's crossing 11 right now. It's a big tornado there. That's approaching a violent signature. Again, that's going to be 1.5 miles east of the Waukita cutoff on 11 east and about 11 due west of Medford. So we'll zoom on in. There's the debris ball. It's just about ready to cross the highway at 11 right there. So it's got debris. That debris ball there is about 3/4 of a mile wide. So that's a big debris signature right there. Corey Inman, due to your west now, crossing 11.
Yeah, let this car get out of the way. He's kind of killing the shot here, but there's a huge lowering here just to the south, getting ready to cross 11. It doesn't appear that it's on the ground, Mike, but it's awfully low. I can see under the base of it, but it's extremely low to the ground. A lot of rotation in it. It's right over Highway 11 right now. You can probably see it behind this vehicle here, and once his headlights get past me here, you'll be able to see it. But just a tremendously large lowering right over Highway 11 right now. Didn't have any power flashes underneath it so far. You can see it's right on top of and crossing 11 right now. So there's a lot of low-hanging clouds in there, and they're spinning out. There's a power flash, Mike. It's on the ground. It's on the ground maybe a mile in front of me here. It's going to be, let me zoom in here just past this sun. Yep, there it is. You can see it. It's right over Highway 11 right now on the ground.
Yeah, multi-vortex, Corey. Multi-vortex there, right?
Let me pull up past this sign. The night vision's kind of reflecting off of the sign here, but it's on the ground with continuous power flashes here right over Highway 11 right now, Mike.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That you could really see it right there. Debris. You can see debris and multi-vortex in structure. Pretty big debris cloud. It's now centered right where that sign is. Multi-vortex tornado, big debris cloud. Big debris cloud. So it's got some strength to it. Power flash right there. Power flash again, crossing Highway 11. Big debris cloud, power flashes, multiple. That's a large multi-vortex tornado. Could be quite strong. Incredible.
There's 5 or 6 vortexes dancing around this thing, Mike. It's north of the highway now. It's going to stay south of Waukeeta, but it's maybe a half a mile here just to my northwest. I'm gonna turn around here and start heading back to the east, but it's north of Highway 11. It's going to stay to the southeast of Waukeeta, and it should stay to the northwest of Medford unless it jogs to the east. It's going to stay to the northwest of Medford. But large multi-vortex tornado on the ground just north of Highway 11, Mike.
Corey, that tornado is pretty big when you were looking at the various multi-vortexes in the structure of it. And then on a couple of those lightning flashes, you could actually see how big the debris cloud was. It's a pretty big tornado, quarter-mile wide, maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I've got it centered up in the shot there, Mike. It's at least a quarter of a mile wide. And like you said, there were 4 or 5 vortices dancing around the base of it there. So it had a large debris field, but continues on the ground here north of Highway 11. You can see it there centered up in the shot. Just one big, massive, almost a wedge tornado there, Mike.
Okay, this is northwest. This is west-northwest of Medford. So let's go over to radar real fast. We'll go back to Corey. And all the mile markers here are on this map. There's Medford right there. So it's 11, 12 miles to the west of Medford. There's the tornado right there. There's the Waukeeta cutoff right there. There's Waukeeta right up here. So it's going to travel just east of Waukeeta. It's moving. It jogged to the north. Now it's moving more northeast. But that's a big tornado, very large mesocyclone with a big tornado right in the middle of it. This is up here in Grant County in northern Oklahoma. This will likely pass to the northwest and north of Medford, but it continues on the ground. The latest velocity scan may have weakened 1/2 of a notch, but likely still on the ground. Let's go back to Corey for a ground truth on that. Corey, what do you got?
Yeah, you can see it backlit in the lightning there, Mike. Still just a large tornado continues on the ground. Thankfully, it's kind of out in the open. There may be a farmhouse or two in there, but for the most part, that's out in the open. But that's just if it's not on the ground, you can see how low to the ground it is. And it was, just a few minutes ago when it crossed 11 there, it was on the ground. Just that lowering there, Mike, is at least a half a mile wide. So if it's on the ground, that's a large wedge tornado in there.
Let's go over to Links 2 and look at the shear detector. And you can see that's the shear representation of the tornado itself. And the colors there are really near the top end of the chart. That's a bullseye of a heavy shear detection there to the west-northwest of Medford. Let's go back over to Max 1. That's the shear tracker right there. Big hook there continues. Debris ball right there, right where the tornado is located. Again, about 11 miles west-northwest of Medford. There's the tornado vortex signature. It's tracking up toward Renfro, which is near the Kansas border. So you folks in Renfro, heads up. Let's go back over to Corey Inman with it, looking right at it. He's been tracking it right across Highway 11 right there. Corey, what do you got?
Yeah, Mike, it continues north of 11. Like you said, it's moving to the northeast. Going to go up towards the Renfro area. Haven't had any power flashes since it crossed Highway 11, but that's not an indication that it's not on the ground if power was knocked out as it crossed 11 there. So just you can see that just large, massive lowering right there in the center of the screen. And it looks like right in the center that it's almost on the ground if it's not on the ground there. So continues on up towards the Renfro area. It's going to stay to the southeast of Waukeeta. It's going to stay to the northwest of Medford. Okay, yeah, it's on the ground, Mike. There were a couple of fire flashes right there. So it's still on the ground up there, making its way towards Renfro.
Yeah, so still a large tornado, still showing a big debris ball with it also, still a big debris ball, and will travel just to the east of Waukeeta. Heads up for you folks in Medford. If it were to take a right-hand turn, it would be pretty close to Medford. Let's go back over to radar here. This is, big. Well, big tornado continues there. So northwest of Medford now, just east of Waukeeta, and then Renfro's right up here. So it may travel just to the west of Renfro, but not by very much. We'll zoom on in. And again, there's Waukeeta, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to 5.5 east of Waukeeta as it moves to the northeast. And there's the debris ball, the debris detector there. It's about a 3/4 mile to close to a mile wide debris signature. And we were just showing you the actual pictures of that, showing that big debris ball with it. That's what it looks like on radar. You can see those various pieces of debris. And we don't know if any structures were hit or not. We don't know, but there were lots and lots of power flashes on Highway 11. So we'll check that out. Back over to Live with Corey Inman. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, you can see it continues on the ground here to the northwest of Medford, trying to make my way back over to 81 so that we can get north up towards Renfro. But you can see that tornado continues on the ground to the northwest of Medford and southeast of Waukeeta, probably a 1/4 to a 1/2 mile wide back in there, Mike. Thankfully over open country, but continues on the ground just to the northwest of Medford.
Because it crossed right here.
So Tim Boyd and I are looking at the Google map imagery, and there's a structure right there on Highway 11, very close to where it tracked across Highway 11. So we don't know whether or not that structure was hit, but a farmhouse is located right there in that immediate vicinity. And all those power flashes makes you wonder. But there is a farmhouse or some type of pretty large structure right there on the north side of 11, about 11.5, 12 miles west of Medford. And you saw the power flashes there from Corey Inman. We hope nobody was hit right there, but it was in that immediate vicinity. Let's go back to Corey Inman, looking at it now northwest of Medford, large ongoing multi-vortex tornado here.
Yeah, Mike, continues on the ground. You can see it back behind the farmhouse here as we make our way back to Medford so that we can head north. That thing's still a 1/4 to a 1/2 mile wide back in there, Mike. There's intermittent power flashes, don't have continuous power flashes. But like I said, it's out in open country for the most part. A lot of wheat fields up in that area. You can see, that you've got the lowering here kind of in the foreground of the shot, but then back behind it is where the actual tornado is, and that thing's just, if it's not on the ground, it's so low and it's so ragged, Mike, and there's a tremendous amount of rotation in there, so we have to assume that it's on the ground. Like I said, intermediate power flashes, so we're going to be north on 81, headed up towards Renfro here in just a minute, Mike.
Okay, Corey Inman there with live coverage on that. Let's go back over to Max 1. And we suspect, Tim was looking at Google imagery, there's a structure right there on 11. When it crossed over 11, there's a big debris ball. And we actually showed you the live imagery of the debris cloud from Corey Inman, all those power flashes. So there's a real possibility that it hit this structure. It's on the north side of 11. So you locals, right, if you know, 12 miles west of Medford on 11, on the north side of the road, big driveway going into it with what appeared to be some type of a circle drive structure, could be some type of ranch structure, but there's a big debris ball that occurred co-located right there, and you saw the debris, big debris cloud, lots of power flashes. So we hope nobody was hit, but it's in that exact area, and there was a big debris plume that went up as it crossed Highway 11 right there. You saw that actually occurring from Corey Inman's live stream. Let's go back to live here with Corey. It's now northwest of Medford, southwest of Renfro. Still a big tornado on the ground. Go, Corey.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. Having to dodge some traffic here. You can see the mesocyclone still tucked back in there in the background. It's not the lowering there in the foreground. That's just the structure off the storm. Still continue with at least a large wall cloud back there. Coming into the west side of Medford here now, so make our way north on 81 up towards Renfro and back out in front of it. We'll be able to tell if it's on the ground or not, Mike.
Okay, let's go back over to Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett's been crisscrossing the damage path further back to the southwest. He's been in damage north of Helena. One structure at least had light damage, another area of damage too. Mike Bennett with an update here. Mike?
Okay, yeah, Mike, we're just getting a call from the PIO officer in Major County. Kyle's talking to him right now. We're trying to find out if there's any damage in Major County so we can go to it. We're in Helena right now. The funny thing is, Mike, when the tornado was northwest of Helena and crossed the highway north of Helena, Helena still had power. we just drove back through there, and they're without power now. So anyway, it's completely the prison on the west side of Helena, which barely missed the tornado. They've got power, but of course they're going to have backup generators and things. So anyway, we're going to make our way back to Major County. We're on the phone with the PIO officer, see about any damage. Do you know of, Kyle? Oh, okay. I guess maybe there's not any major damage in Major County, Mike, according to the public information officer. So we'll.
No major damage from the PIO in Major County. So that's an important update right there, because it was on the ground for a long track through Major County and didn't miss Orienta and Clio Springs by very much. So that is a major victory from the PIO in Major County. You folks in Fairview might be listening. No reports of any major damage in Major County. And that's very, very good news. That's from Mike Bennett right there from the PIO in Major County. Let's go back over to Max 1. Same storm, cyclic supercell, still producing tornadic activity. It's weakened a little bit near the small little town of Clyde, Oklahoma, just a tiny little town there east of Waukeeta, southwest of Medford. The rotation has weakened some, very close to Clyde, still moving to the northeast. This is the Kansas border right here. This is the Kansas border. And it's moving to the northeast around 35 miles per hour. Still intermittently likely on the ground, but north of Clyde now and east of Waukeeta and to the west-southwest of Medford. We'll pass probably west of Renfro, probably pass west of Renfro. Velocities are cooling, which is good. Velocities are cooling with it, but it might be some type of smaller rope-looking tornado the way it looks based off velocity. Between Waukeeta and Renfro right now, but doesn't appear to be quite as powerful as it was earlier. It could be a smaller little rope right there. Again, a structure may have been hit on the north side of 11, about 11.5, 12 miles west of Medford. There is a structure there. Looks to be potentially some type of ranch home. Had a big driveway with kind of a circle drive feature. So check on those folks. Big debris cloud was there and a big debris signature plumed up and lots of power flashes with that. Here's the track of the tornado mostly where you see the red popping up. And now it's up there to the northwest of Medford, and it continues maybe roping out or going away altogether right now. That'd be very good news. Let's go back over to Corey Inman's stream and video from earlier. And this was when it crossed 11. And we're going to let this roll. This was not very long ago. You're looking due west here at the tornado right in the middle of your screen. And it's a multi-vortex. When the lightning flashes and the power flashes hit, you can see the multi-vortex structure to the tornado. Those little cloud tags you see hanging down are little tornadoes, multiple vortices. And then you'll see lots of power flashes right here. And there is a structure located at basically that exact spot on the north side of the highway. It's a pretty big structure with some type of a circle drive looking feature coming northbound. There's the debris cloud. See the debris cloud right there? And the video paused. Lots of power flashes. So something right there was likely hit. And those power flashes, the debris cloud's pretty big. That's from Corey Inman there just only about 12, 14 minutes ago when it crossed Highway 11 about 11 to 12 miles west of Medford. So that tornado now may have lifted up there east of Waukeeta and southwest of Renfro. But that's from Corey Inman. Let's go to Corey Inman now live. Corey, velocities on this have cooled quite a bit, which is good. It may or may not still be on the ground, may have lifted. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm north of Medford here, Mike. Just got pulled over and looking back in there. There's still a bell lowering in there, but it's not, it doesn't have the definition that it had back to the southwest. It looks like it's on a downtrend. It doesn't appear that the tornado is on the ground. See if I can zoom in a little further here for you. That it's still kind of ragged at the bottom, but it's the lowering itself is not as tight as what it was back to the southwest, which is a sign that it's trying to weaken. Hopefully it doesn't cycle and form again. But right now the tornado is not on the ground. From our vantage point, you can see when the lightning illuminates it here, you can kind of see all the way through the base of it here. So right now, not on the ground. And I am just about halfway between Medford and Renfro on Highway 81 looking back to the west, Mike.
Okay, Corey, thank you very much. That'd be good news. It looks like on velocities that it may have lifted as well. It could still touch down again. It's approaching the Kansas border up in far northern Oklahoma. Now we're going to go to western Oklahoma. Here's Beckham County, Clinton located here, Weatherford right here, Watonga here. Ongoing tornado warning here just southeast of Sweetwater and just on the northern side of Eric and just on the northwest side of Sayre. And it's moving northeast, so just on the east side of Sweetwater. Let's go to Phil here. Phil McGee, our tracker out here in Beckham County. Tornado warning, Phil, but velocities don't seem to indicate an imminent tornado, but it does have a warning on it.
Yeah, Mike, we got on Highway 283. We're headed north out of Sayre, and we're trying to intercept the storm. We didn't have a very good vantage point a while ago, but I'm looking off to my northwest, which would be basically exactly where you said, over towards Sweetwater. And I can see a bowl lowering off to the left of my vehicles right now. So we're going to find it.
Okay, Phil, thank you very much. Let's go back over to radar. So he doesn't have any immediate sign here of any tornado on the ground, which is good. Ongoing tornado warning here, again, east of Sweetwater and to the west of Elk City. It'll likely travel near or north of Elk City, the way it looks. Here's your time of arrival. Elk City here at 11:15 or so. It's about 25 minutes from right now. And then Canute and Butler and over toward north of Clinton, near north of Clinton. And eventually maybe as far south as Weatherford by about 12:24. It's going to be quite a bit later tonight for the metro for this wave to come out of western Oklahoma, so it's going to be quite a bit later into our overnight hours. So go back over to Corey Inman in northern Oklahoma. So the tornado warning here has been downgraded to a radar-indicated possible tornado, and it looks like to us that it's lifted up there in northern Grant County, pretty close to the Kansas border now. Corey, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm just south of Renfro here, Mike, looking back to the west, kind of in some trees here. So shot may not be that good, but when we do catch a glimpse of it here, it doesn't appear to be on the ground. The lowering has shrunk dramatically from what it was, even 10 minutes ago. So that's good news. It's definitely going to stay to the northwest of Medford, and looks like it's going to stay to the west of Renfro as it passes on up towards Caldwell, Kansas. But right now, tornado not on the ground, and from my vantage point, it looks like the lowering continues to weaken, Mike.
Okay, Corey, thank you very much. That's an update there in Grant County. So if you're just now joining us here, tornado warning up near the Kansas border and a tornado warning up in northern Beckham County in far western Oklahoma. It's going to take a little while for these to reach central Oklahoma, and they will eventually travel toward the metro, but it's going to be a little bit farther on down the road. Tim Boyd here has got more. Tim?
Yeah, we're going to do a little radar analysis, if we will, of the storm that we got down towards Sweetwater, just to the east there, heading up towards Cheyenne. So you can see I'm zooming in on us on Links 2. So if we want to jump over to Links 2, we can pull that up, and we'll have this tornado warning again. This one that we have down here is radar indicated for this tornado warning down in Beckham and Roger Mills counties down here in the southwestern portion. Mayfield, New Liberty, it's passing off to the north there. So zooming in on it, you can kind of see that red polygon right there. Velocities on it kind of messy. We do have a little bit of a rotation just to the west of New Liberty. So again, radar indicated. We're not looking at a tornado on the ground right now, but this is entering an environment that is extremely susceptible to some quick formation of tornadoes out here. So that's why the National Weather Service has kind of kept this tornado warning tag on this storm, just in case, because again, it is in that environment where these things can drop at any time. So there you can see right there for Grimes, Rose Hill, Berlin. This is continuing to move off to the northeast at about 35, 45 miles per hour. These things are moving pretty quickly. They are hauling off to the northeast there. Now let's take a look at the shear and see if we can see there. See, the not very clear rotation, but that just to the west of New Liberty right there, that little green area you see, that is where we're watching that. Also, a lot of these storms have been prolific hail makers. You can see right there through Mayfield, just to the south of Sweetwater. Grimes is probably starting. If you live in Grimes right now and you're watching from there, you're likely hearing some of that hail hitting the roof right now and getting thrown in with those winds out there. So we'll pull that radar back up and you can kind of see where that hail core is. So you see those pinks and those grays and kind of blacks starting to show up just to the northeast of Sweetwater there. And that is where we have that hail showing up on radar. So I'll jump back to the north now and we'll take a look at that storm that we have up towards Medford. This one again is moving into Kansas. So let me update the radar we have out there and you'll see that. All right, so there's the storm that we have now northeast of Wichita, and that is moving. That is not very far off from the Kansas border now. Velocities on it, not very good anymore. But we do have a new little area of spin that I'll just point out real quick because the old one we were watching kind of fizzled out over here. So here is the other one. When you have your greens and your reds on your velocities, that is the winds toward and away from the radar. So that's what we see. We create that spin in the atmosphere. So some upper level spin out here right now with this one. So they still have that tornado warning tag on it, but that is still radar indicated upper level spin in this storm. So we're going to keep watching that one as it heads up into Kansas. And we do have, again, that other one down in Beckham and Roger Mills County out there. See if we have the storm relative velocity. It shows up a little bit better there, the one we were just talking about. Storm relative velocity just takes into account the storm's motion. So you can see tightening up right there. Let me see if the National Weather Service has said anything new about that. All right. So back down towards, take a look at the radar real quick. And you can see this system now as we head back towards the west out there. Sand Creek, there's nothing on that storm right now besides a severe thunderstorm warning. Lots of lightning and hail within that as well. There's the storm that we had, the tornado again. Again, still tornado warned as it continues to move off to the northeast, but I think that one's lifted off the ground. That rotation is much more broad and elevated. As you head back towards Wichita, some heavy rain, but again, Gibbon, Manchester out there, this storm system right here we're watching, that's still moving off to the northeast. Strong storm there, lots of hail, prolific lightning makers. So we can actually pull up the lightning and show you that as well on links right here. There we go. You see just how much lightning there is with these storms, just completely lighting up the sky. So that confirmed tornado warning till 11:15. So that's not too much longer. But again, that's with that storm that has already kind of fizzled out a little bit. The rotation a lot more broad in that. So do we have a storm tracker down on the Beckham County storm? Philip McGee is down there. So we could toss it out to Phil and see if he's seeing anything on that storm that we have down in Beckham and Roger Mills County. Phil, what are you seeing out there? Are you getting any hail from this storm?
So we are just to the south of the rotation right now, and it's going to be crossing across 283 within just the next couple of minutes. We have seen some ragged lowerings, but nothing connecting to the ground, and we haven't experienced any hail at the moment. And so we're making our way to the north on 283. Cheyenne is not too far away from us, and so we're going to stay on this thing and keep an eye on it. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Philip. We have, so there's the storm that we have right there. This is on links too. You can see Grimes right now probably getting the brunt of that with that hail core as well, just to get into the northeast of Stillwater. There's that hail core we were talking about. Heading northeast toward Rose Hill. Again, radar indicated rotation, very broad. There's a little bit of lowering with it right now. So you just want to be prepared, likely head to your safe space ahead of time now, because again, these are in an environment that are extremely conducive to a quick tornado formation. You've already got the broad rotation going out there, but lots of prolific lightning with this. You can see all these lightning strikes around, and they just keep popping up really quickly there. So I'll jump back up to the north and take a look at that storm up there as well. This one moving off, we'll put it in some motion real quick. You can kind of see these over the last 30 minutes quickly moving off, moving through Mayfield. And then you can see New Liberty, Berlin, and Rose Hill included in that tornado warning. So now jump back up to the north again. Storm up towards Wichita. It looks like that tornado warning is literally knocking on Kansas's door up there. So there it is. Yes, that storm is moving off and into Kansas right there. Along with that old tornado warning, we'll take a look at the velocities. You can still see a little bit of broad rotation. I'll put in the storm relative velocity. As I was saying, storm relative velocity and velocity, essentially the same thing, but storm relative takes into account the storm's motion as well. So you see that just a little bit of a shade of red right there. You can see not very good signature right here, not as tight as we were seeing earlier when Mike was up here and we had that wedge tornado potentially on the ground, that multi-vortex. So not as tight of a signature here, but that's continuing to move off to the northeast, the Kansas state line right there. Ouachita still seeing some heavy rain with this one. And just off to the west, if I switch it over to radar, you can see all the heavy rain, hail, and just wind with this thing. So Gibbon, that hail core is moving in on you right now if you're watching from the area in Gibbon. Velocities are pretty high. Lots of lightning with this one as well. It's moved to the north of Sand Creek, so if you're in Sand Creek, the worst of the thunderstorm has already left you. And these things, again, just moving right along. Here is the last 30 minutes, just trucking it off to the northeast at about 30, 40 plus miles per hour. So extremely quick moving systems. That tornado warning off to the northeast of Ouachita has officially moved off, or that rotation has officially moved off into the past the Kansas state line there. So I'll freeze that on now and we'll drop back down to our southern friends down on the Frederick radar. So we'll move down there and you can see this is the main storm now. Nothing else really out there right now besides a couple of showers in and around Leedy, Tologa. You can see a couple of showers there. But Cheyenne now, Rose Hill, Grimes, Dempsey. This is going to be that area that we're watching. The National Weather Service continuing that tornado warning up towards Grant, but again, that's moving out of our area and into Kansas, and it's just an elevated rotation at this moment. And again, that tornado debris signature dissipated pretty significantly earlier, but there's the one in Grimes, Rose Hill, Dempsey. Philip, if you're out there, do you still see anything? Is there just kind of a ragged circulation that you're still seeing out there? Is there any update?
Yeah, so we're on 283 and looking straight north, or the rotation is going to be directly to our north and off to the right just a little bit. But there is definitely a ragged wall cloud lowering to the right. If you can see it on the live stream there where the tower is flashing at, it's going to be right behind that tower. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Philip. Pulling that back up again. We'll pull it up, take a look at the storm scanner one more time so you can see if you're watching from home right now. Rose Hill, Grimes right in the center of this, Dempsey, and see that heavy rain with hail and lightning in. And again, radar indicated tornado warning continuing for that county we're looking at just to the south here. Beckham and Roger Mills, yes, off to the southwest. Toss it back over to Max 1, I believe.
Tim, thank you very much. We're going to give you a little weather update here, your forecast also. We continue with a tornado watch until midnight. Here in Oklahoma City, it's cloudy. It's still pretty warm. It's windy, close to 70 here. There is still a chance of storms in the metro, but it's going to be later tonight coming in from the west. Right now we're 69 degrees with a southeast wind at 17 and close to 80% relative humidity. So the tornado warning is right on the Kansas-Oklahoma border up here west of Renfro in northern Grant County. That's going to be going into Kansas. And a tornado warning up here north of Sayre and just west of Elk City in Beckham County till midnight, a tornado watch. Now, there is still a wave of energy coming on out, which may help to regenerate storms closer to the metro during the overnight hours. It's now 11 p.m. So these are the current warnings that we have. Tornado warning here, southern Roger Mills, northern Beckham County. No warnings for the Woodward-Moreland area. That's good. And the tornado warning just about ready to cross into Kansas. That's the storm that produced all the significant tornadic activity back to the southwest over a 2.5-hour period. Here's the big view. Now, there is a wave of energy coming out, but the energy has been steering more to the north. So these are going to try to keep chugging toward the metro. They're going to try to lean on the northern side of I-40 during the overnight hours tonight. I think we'll still have storms in the area, but it may be around the 2, 3, and 4 o'clock hour in Oklahoma City. So later, these supercells have been very slow, as you can tell, very slow to come out of northern and western Oklahoma. So we're going to go to Corey Inman here and also Mike Bennett here coming up, guys. So hailers out here by Manchester, north of Waukeeta, golf balls with that. And the supercells go back over to radar here. The supercell is about to cross into Kansas. There's been a little small pinpoint, looks to be potentially a little rope tornado from time to time north of Clyde and northwest of Renfro. And that's literally on the border right now to the west-southwest of Caldwell. And that's that same supercell there. And you see the rotation there. Now it's really quite small and trying to completely spin down. But there was a little tiny needle, itty-bitty tiny little needle-looking tornado-like signature there north of Clyde. Zoom on in here. So there's your look for the red and the green there. Very tight, very, very small, completely different than what it was earlier when it crossed Highway 11, for example. Speaking of, let's go to Corey Inman here. He's in Grant County in northern Oklahoma with an update. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here at Renfro along Highway 81 looking back to the northwest. This thing it's finally made it into Kansas as it tracks on up towards the Caldwell area. You were talking about, maybe a tiny rope tornado in there. There was a lowering that continued to weaken from back in the Waukeeta area up this way. It did change shape several times. There was still rotation with it, but it's basically almost completely gone away, the lowering itself, as it tracks on up into Kansas. So it has officially moved out of Grant County and is up into Sumner County right now, Mike.
Corey, thank you very much. Hey, can I ask you, you've been listening to scanner traffic and such. Have you heard any interesting chatter up there in terms of any damage? In particular, that area 11 and a half, 12 miles west of Medford, that large structure. You might even know what structure that is on the northern side of 11, right where you had it cross 11. There was a debris ball there, and you had a big debris cloud, right? We're showing that to our viewers. There's a ranch home or something right there. Do you know any additional information on that? Here's earlier this evening showing it hitting whatever structure that is right there at the power flashes. Corey, we're looking at that video that you shot just a short while ago. What do you know? Anything?
I haven't heard any scanner traffic as far as any structural damage or any injuries or anything. Haven't seen any emergency vehicles that were headed that way as we were coming into Medford and going north. Actually just had Medford police officers going past me here as they go on up towards the Kansas state line. So we'll make our way back over that way real quick, Mike, and see if there's any damage over that way since this thing has moved up into Kansas.
So many power flashes right there, Corey, as you're showing us live on the north side of 11. So we hope that nothing was hit right there, but according to the Google imagery, there is a structure sitting right there. So we'll check back with you on that for sure. Let's hope nobody is injured, nothing like that, west of Medford. So let's go back over to radar now and show you again what the track of this supercell here. There was a tornado more on the ground than off the ground. And it began well back down west-southwest of Fairview, really right there in the northern Blaine County line near Canton. And then it tracked very close to Cleo Springs, west and north side of Helena, in between Jed and Nash, and then on up here to the west of Renfro. Now it's up in Sumner County, just crossing the border, west of Caldwell. So it's up in Sumner County now. And there might have been a little bitty brief little needle tornado a short while ago, west-northwest of Renfro. There's quarters and golf balls up here now. Earlier had about baseballs with it. So before we go back into western Oklahoma, let's go to Mike Bennett up here in the northern part of our state. Mike?
Okay, Mike. Yeah, we're making our way back to Cleo Springs to check for damage. I want to clarify something said earlier. The Major County Public Information Officer told us that there was no damage that he can report on at this time. That doesn't necessarily mean there wasn't any, but they just weren't allowed to talk about it if there to clarify that. I am having a hard time believing that there was not damage northwest of Cleo Springs because, we sat there just south of town, watched that thing just track right around, basically right around Cleo. So we're coming in on Cleo right now. We're going to go ahead and make our way to the west a little ways just to see, because I know you have some homes back in that area. So I'm just going to go check on those. Back to you.
Mike, we're showing still images. Our control room here, downloading these from your video stream from earlier. It's amazing, right? But nighttime tornadoes are difficult to spot. And you and Corey Inman, our team of trackers, did a great job tracking these. Those to to folks who don't live in Oklahoma, might think those are just clouds. They're not just clouds. That's a multi-vortex tornado, and it's very dynamic and very large. And at times, that tornado may have been over a half a mile wide. Here's also video from earlier, right here. And this is from Mike Bennett as well, as it crossed Highway 8 north of Helena. It's dragging out of the back of that mesocyclone. Then he had damage. There's the damage right there of that exact location north of Helena. Damage to a home. The damage looked to be pretty minor, which is good. Some sheet metal thrown around, some minor roof damage right there. Mike, we're showing all that video right now of your excellent work, keeping folks forewarned on that. Any more additional information you want to provide on that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, the amazing thing is that the home that was northeast of Helena, okay, it was a mobile home, okay, and there was trees, big trees, right beside it, okay, and some of the limbs were sheared off, and I'm talking about, I'm guessing maybe 8 to 10 inch, maybe even 12-inch limbs that were sheared off at the rooftop level of that mobile home. Okay, the mobile home was still there, was still intact. Okay, but those limbs, of course, you had the video of a while ago. Those limbs were gone. Okay, and then there was barns around that mobile home. There was one barn, or maybe probably a shop, a garage, that was just about 20 yards north of the mobile home, and it was destroyed. Okay, so it just attests to the strange things that these do, and usually what that indicates is multiple vortex structures or tornadoes, because you can have a subvortices hit a small area and shear trees off and not touch the home, and then or you can have the home destroyed and a doghouse right beside it, laid right there untouched. So it's just a lot of strange things they do. Sometimes they're even hard to explain. Okay, we're northwest of Cleo Springs now. We're going to come across. If we have anything, we'll get back with you. Back to you.
There are your power poles down right there. We're looking at that. Power poles down there near Jet from your stream earlier. All this is here that you see is earlier. The cloud bases underneath the mesocyclone were super low. And underneath that mesocyclone, there was multi-vortex vortices. You see that right there. The mesocyclone was just literally hundreds of feet off the deck, right? And the tornadoes formed incredibly fast and got large incredibly fast. And make no mistake, there's some violent winds in there. So we'll see, if there's any more damage. Let's certainly hope not. Clarification there from Major County, the PIO. No damage he could report on at the time from Major County, the PIO there. So that's a clarification from earlier. Mike Bennett, of course, was on that from way back earlier in the evening as it was tracking through Major County. And it's been a pretty violent weather night tonight. Let's hope there are no additional tornadoes, but there is a wave of energy coming out, so an opportunity of storms is there. So let's go back over to our latest maps, and there goes the supercell into Kansas. That's good. Here's western Oklahoma here. Cheyenne, severe thunderstorm warning here. Ongoing tornado warning south of Cheyenne. Notice it's lifted more to the north of Elk City. It's lifted more to the north of Elk City. And when they lift like that, that's usually a good sign. When the whole storm lifts more to the north, it means it's not rooted down in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So it's kind of lifted up above a layer. And when they lift to the north like that, that's usually a good sign. Let's hope that is a good sign. There is an ongoing tornado warning, radar indicated, and a severe thunderstorm warning being added to that on top of it, which may or may not let that tornado warning expire. But it's also going to travel north of Elk City. It's quite a ways north of Sayre now. Then we have Phil McGee. Phil McGee's been out all day in western Oklahoma, Connerton as well. Let's go to Phil McGee here with an update near and north of Elk City. Phil?
Yeah, Mike, we are actually driving to Cheyenne, and then we're going to go east from there. But we're basically just on the edge of the hail core, and there are at least quarters and dimes falling right now just to the south of Cheyenne. And so maybe even a little bit bigger than that. But we're going to make our way over east and get back out in front of this. Back to you.
Phil, thank you very much. Any hail? You got blinding rain out there. Have you been in any hail?
Yeah, Mike, we're driving in hail right now. It isn't too big. It's probably quarter size, maybe just a touch bigger than that. But yes, blinding rain for sure.
Okay, Phil, be very careful out there. Be very, very careful. He's in nickel dime and almost quarter-size hail. This is Roger Mills County tonight at 10 minutes after 11 on our Thursday evening in western Oklahoma. A storm is ongoing severe. It's had a tornado warning, radar indicated tornado warning. It has lifted more to the north. It'll clear Elk City to the north. So we're really talking about more like Butler and Custer City really is where we're talking about up here in northern Custer County. Should stay near north of I-40. Okay, so what's going to happen overnight tonight? So a wave of energy is coming out. There's a little more of a cap or a lid has formed over the metro. Whether or not that cap or lid is breakable, we will see. But there is a wave of energy coming out. So there's still a moderate probability of thunderstorms later tonight. This is 2:30 in the morning. So that energy will come out of western Oklahoma eventually. Most of the activity is going to be in northern Oklahoma tonight and then down to near Interstate 40 with a few scattered storms south of I-40. But this should fill in the storms as they come into the metro. But the cap or the lid has strengthened some over the metro this afternoon, late into this evening. 60 for a low. Tomorrow, the severe weather is going to be east of Oklahoma City. It's just a 20% chance. Mid-afternoon tomorrow, it'll quickly push to the east. Tornadoes are possible in eastern Oklahoma tomorrow. It'll be mostly cloudy and a windy 76 in Oklahoma City. The dry line is going to push into western Oklahoma tomorrow. Very windy tomorrow. South wind and a south-southwesterly wind here. But again, tornadoes are possible in eastern Oklahoma tomorrow. There's an enhanced risk. But it looks like it's going to be Seminole, Okemah, Bristow, Ada, McAllister, Muskogee, Lake Eufaula, Tenkiller, Tahlequah, up toward Grand Lake, down toward McAllister and Poto and Durant and Hugo. That's where the threat appears to be maximized tomorrow. But early mid-afternoon, 2, 3, maybe 4 o'clock, not too far east of Oklahoma City, there may be a window, say Seminole up towards Stroud and maybe down toward Pontotoc County. There may be a window of getting a few supercells fairly close by. So a 60% storm chance later tonight. I have lowered the storm chances, but they should fill in some as they move toward the I-35 corridor. It's going to be around the 1:32, 3 and 4 o'clock hour. So a low to moderate to good chance overnight tonight of showers and thunderstorms. We'll see these storms gradually develop as they push to the east. Mid-50s to middle 60s for lows Friday morning and a 20% storm chance for tomorrow. Windy, a high of 76, mostly cloudy, and a south wind at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And highs will be in the middle to upper 70s. Roger Mills expired.
Yep, they expired it.
The tornado warning for Roger Mills County is expired. That's very good news. So there's future rainfall. Still could see very good rains just west through north of Oklahoma City. We need the rain in the metro. We should see some, but there is more of a lean to the north of Interstate 40 now overnight tonight because the cap or the lid, which is partially drought related, has been strengthening this evening over the metro. The atmosphere is a dynamic place. 60 tonight, 60% probability. We're hopeful we'll see those storms. 20% tomorrow and 76 and windy. Here's your weekend, 38 to 53, mostly cloudy on Saturday. North wind, so a cool day. A beautiful Sunday, 34 up to 70. We do spring forward. Sunset will be about 7:30 Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. 80 on Monday. Strong south winds, 40% storm chance on Tuesday. A high temperature of 74. Some of those storms could be severe. Cooler Wednesday, 65 on Thursday. And then the next system, which appears to be fairly weak right now, low storm chances Saturday and Sunday, a weekend away. That is your 7-day +4. We're still monitoring the severe weather right now. There are no tornado warnings in effect for our state, which is very good news. Let's get an update here from Tim Boyd. Tim?
Yeah, we'll take one last look at this storm that we have over Cheyenne on Lynx 2. And I'll jump on over there so you guys don't have to do that. And there you can see that's the storm that Mike was just pointing out, that the tornado warning polygon is still on there, but that has dropped off. So now this is the only severe storm that we have monitoring out there. Again, right over Cheyenne, continuing to move off. So heading up towards Leedy. Leedy's seeing some pretty heavy rain right now. I'll jump over and take a look at the velocity and throw up that lightning on there for you because it's the prolific storms out there. There's just tons of lightning with these. You can see that right there. I throw those up and I'll zoom in for you. So Strong City, Cheyenne down towards Herring, over towards Herring, seeing all that lightning right there. Hail core. So we'll pull up the 1 hour hail, and you can see. So Rose Hill looks like they got clobbered with some hail, especially Grimes. You see those dark purples right there. You can see that's exactly where that larger hail went through. So just to the south of Cheyenne, it's moving in, and Herring again moving right towards you as well. Sheer looking pretty sloppy on it, and that's part of the reason that they're dropping that tornado warning, or letting it expire right now, actually, at 11:15. So no more tornado warnings on the board. Again, Cheyenne, Strong City, this storm continues to move off to the northeast. So Taloga, Sealing, Visay going to be getting some of that rain out of there. Camargo, Trail, Webb. So I said Sealing already. Back to the southwest again. That's our one remaining storm. I do want to pull out the big picture take a look at the tornado watch that we have on Max 3. And you can see all these just continue to kind of trail right behind one another off from the southwest into the northeast there, just to the north of Enid. But there's that latest storm. We had our first one. You can see that entire trail where it moved all the way through there. That's that really impressive hook was right around there. You see that as it moved off. Now that's moved into Kansas. Now we have our second storm right here. Again, heading up towards Leedy. Right now, just a pretty strong storm. Lots of hail with that, probably up to golf ball or larger size hail with that storm as it continues to move out there. Some pretty gusty, damaging winds as well. Likely some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds with that storm as it continues to move off to the northeast. So without that, I believe, since we have no more tornado warnings, we jump back out to our regular programming.